McFarland, and this is my horse Mac and my handler Emily Rhodes, and today we're going to be talking about manual restraints. So one of the most basic restraints there is verbal restraints. You can use it when, say, if you need to get the horse's attention, you can say, hey, or if they are working around them and they try to be naughty, you can kind of yell at them in a little bit sterner voice. But a verbal restraint can only go so far. They can start ignoring you, they can get really skittish from it, and then you get even more distracted. So verbal restraints are probably the most basic restraint that you can have before moving to some of these manual restraints. We use manual restraints when we are working with a vet, farrier, or any clipping. The first manual restraint we're going to be talking about is just your simple halter and lead rope. Emily's demonstrating this by holding him right now. You want the halter to be fitting nice and square on his face, not too tight or not too loose. You want the nose band to just sit on the bridge of his nose. We have the lead rope clipped underneath the halter. This is the most basic restraint. All right, stop for a second. So going further from your basic halter and lead rope, we can also add a chain over the nose. Adding a chain over the nose just adds a little bit more security and a little bit more toughness when leading a horse, say, that's on stall rest or just is bad to hand walk. So starting on the left side, you're going to go through the hole, you're going to go down and over, and then you can go on the other side and then link it back up. You always want the hook away from the horse's skin. You want to go down and over the nose band, just in case, as if it was down low, it can get low and bother the horse, and if you go to pull on it really hard, damage the lower nostril bones. So the next manual restraint we're going to talk about is a lip chain. It's a little bit more harsher than just a chain over the nose because you are going to have the chain against the horse's gums. You usually use this manual restraint when leading studs, working with young horses, clipping, anything that you need kind of a distraction for a few minutes, as it will send endorphins through their brain and kind of distract them from what you're doing around them. So start off, I'm going to do almost a basic chain over the nose, but I'm not going to cross over as I need the chain.
Okay.
So I'm going to cross over, go through the hole on the right side and link up. You want the chain to be just normal so you can bring it down. You don't want to hook your connector down here, as if the halter would shift or if the horse has a small head, ill-fitting halter, this big hook will rub on the horse's gum and cause an injury. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide down, I'm going to take the chain with my fingers, I'm going to slide his gum up and then gently pull down. As you see, he has a pretty distinct reaction. He lowers his head. You want to make sure you pull down, not up or to the side, and it's not a pull, it's more of just a gentle hold of the chain. And then so now I'll release it, and then pet his nose and tell him that he's a good boy. So next, going away from the horse's head for a moment, we're going to talk about a shoulder roll. Shoulder roll is used merely as a distraction. You are in no means restraining the horse by doing a shoulder roll. You are just distracting them. This is used, say, if you're clipping a horse and it's kind of being ornery while you're doing their legs and someone's around, or if the farrier's working on the hind leg and the horse is being ornery. So to do a shoulder roll, you're going to go right where the neck meets the shoulder, and you're going to kind of just pet him for a second, and then what you want to do is you want to kind of dig your fingers into him to get a reaction, and you're just pinching the skin. Again, this is just a distraction, not a restraint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, and you see the reaction. He moves away from me and he's kind of stunned for a moment, and then so now I'm just going to pet him, let the skin return to normal, and there's your shoulder roll. So next we're going to talk about a leg hold. A leg hold is used again kind of as a distraction when you're clipping, farrier work, vet work. The one thing about leg holds is the horse can kind of get out of it a little bit easier if they decide to throw themselves backwards or thrash around, so you do have to be careful. So to do a leg hold, if a farrier is working on their front right leg, you would pick up their front left leg. But if they're working on their hind left leg, you want to pick up the same side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down. I'm going to go as I'm picking up his hoof, grab with both hands, but then I'm going to wrap my inside hand and pull his hoof up to his elbow, basically trapping his hoof. So if he were to try to move around, I have a chance of keeping him in the leg hold, and then go ahead and just drop it. For a leg hold, you never want to do a back leg. That's never going to be a good idea. They're going to be able to get out of it way too easily, so you always want to do it on a front leg. So the last manual restraint we're going to talk about is the twitch. The twitch is probably your harshest manual restraint that you can give. You put a twitch around their nostril, and then you have about a 2-minute grace period for them to kind of just be distracted as endorphins are being sent to their brain. From then, that 2 minutes for about another 10 minutes, you have them distracted where they're a little bit loopier and the endorphins are to their brain and they're just fully distracted. After that 10 to 12 minutes though, you have the blow stage. The blow stage is when you've had it on for too long, the endorphins are run out, and all the horse can feel is pain. So when handling the twitch, you always want to have 2 people, never having a twitch on by yourself and doing another activity. That way you won't forget how long you've had it on, and you're keeping yourself and the horse safe. Right. So to put on a twitch, I'm going to have Emily, my handler, stand on that other side. What you're going to do, you're going to fit your first 4 fingers in the twitch. You're going to go, grab the twitch, and put it around. And then you usually want to hold the skin until you get it a little bit tight. And now, he has a very severe reaction. As I do know him, he always turns his head to the left. That's when you kind of know the twitch is starting to work. It's sending the endorphins, and he's very distracted. So I'm not going to keep it on any longer, as he showed what it does. I'm just going to pet him on the nose, tell him that he's a good boy. So the last restraint that we can talk about is chemical restraints. Chemical restraints are a sedative that you can give the horse. Say if they're really bad to clip, really bad to do vet work on, they just need a little bit extra restraint that is chemically induced. So what you can give them is acepromazine or rompin, which you would give 1 to 4 cc's. Acepromazine you do have to be careful with geldings. They will have a problem with getting paralyzed in their penis when dropping down, so you just want to be careful when using it and supervising and not giving too much. The last one you can use is dormosidan. This one you can only give 1/4 to a half cc depending on the breed. Usually ponies and smaller breeds can handle a little bit more dormosidan, but again, depending on the breed, it just depends on how much dormosidan they can get. Thank you for viewing my manual restraints video. I hope I taught you a great deal on the different types of manual restraints and when and how to use them. I would just like to thank my handler, Emily Rhodes, and my horse, Mac, for helping me teach you how to do so.